Hey guys, welcome to a new series called, we'll just call this the food series. It's gonna be a short series, but I hope that it's gonna be helpful to you. This is mostly for my foodies, the people who've been asking me for recipes and how I cook and all that. Well, here I am, guys. Here I am. So mostly it's gonna be like ingredient prepping and some recipes, and me just showing you how I incorporate all these different things during the week. It's not, I don't like meal prepping. It doesn't make sense for me, but if it makes sense for you, I love it. You can still decide to cook everything that I show you at once and store it in the freezer. But this is mostly ingredient prep. So I'm so excited. So for this first episode, I'm just going to talk about my spices that I typically use. And we're going to be talking about veggies and the different veggies that I have, and the different ways I incorporate them into my meal. So let's start with the spices. So of course, the first thing that you need to have is salt. I typically have pink salt that I grind. This is actually a repurposed grinder, but you don't need to have this. As long as you have the salt that you use, it's important. Salt is a must. The second thing that I have is black pepper. But black pepper is very important. Salt and black pepper, they love each other. They go well together. So black pepper, which I also have in a grinder in case you prefer like whole spices. I actually prefer this more. I just grind the black pepper. It gives a more, beautiful depth of flavor. I love garlic powder. It saves you on days you don't have garlic, and I feel like garlic is essential for almost everything. Like I use garlic literally for everything. Veggies, spice, meats, you must have garlic powder. And then we have paprika. Paprika adds color and also a depth of flavor as well. So you need to have paprika, or you can have, I know some people are able to get like a smoky one or a sweet one. Whichever one you can get, please do. It adds so much. So paprika. And then one that we also really love in this household is cumin. You can have it spiced, or you can have the whole ones. Actually, if you really like, I recommend having whole spices so that you can roast them and blend them. But who has the time, guys? Who has the time? So cumin, you need cumin. You also need onion powder. I love onions, guys. When I'm cooking, I add a lot of onions, but sometimes I do not have the one that's how much I need, Sometimes I'm like, if I put too much onions, it's gonna look funny. But if I really want the burst of flavor of onions, I always incorporate an onion powder. And then finally, we have coriander. This, I don't know if you've noticed, but most of these spices are things we typically add in our Kenyan foods. Like most of our bases is onions, garlic, and kadania on the side. So having them in spice form will really, really help you and elevate the flavors more. We are going to start with leafy greens. I love leafy greens, from skuma, kunde, spinach, saga, but the first thing, I know you guys have already seen me. Every time I cook, I usually have like 2 bowls already. So let me just show you guys what we prefer, especially for traditional veggies. So right here we have an example of one of the traditional veggies that I like. This is kunde, and it comes in bowls. Basically, you get it from the frozen aisle in Carrefour, but the brand is also called Frozen Aisle. I've been using this, I can even say, for years now, right? Hilary is one introduced me to it. So they have like kunde, managu, saga. If you love those ones and you don't have the time to prep, please, I highly recommend for you to get this. It's very easy. It's basically ready to eat. Basically, you'll just karanga it the way you like to karanga your veggies, and you are ready. But if you do have the time, the energy, like we had at one time, my aunt managed to get me some spinach and skuma. And I had to prep them normally, like how we typically do it in our homes. And we were able to produce this. Now, this is spinach. This is spinach. We have had this spinach for, I think, 2 weeks. It's been 2 weeks since we have prepped them. And they do look like what I've just shown you. So this is a very good alternative, especially if you're trying to save money as well. If you don't like to buy convenience like me, this will be your way of convenience. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that right now. I'm going to start by putting the veggie in boiling hot water. We are literally just going to blanch this for 2 minutes. You can see it's such a vibrant color. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna grab and remove as much hot water as possible, and we're gonna put it in ice cold water to stop the cooking process. So you need to go as fast as you can. You can actually just use a strainer, well, like the way we strain pasta. This is just for video purposes. The fastest way you can remove it from the hot water to the cold water, please use it. So it's completely cold. It's actually cold now. Like everything is cold. So what we're gonna do is just take a huge chunk, and then we're gonna squeeze. So just like that, we are done. I'm gonna be using some Ziploc bags that we've had for a while. You can definitely use your tins. Those tins you've been hiding, but you don't know where the cover is. Please, it's time to find them for this series. You'll definitely need them. So I'm just gonna put them inside. So here we are. I'm just gonna seal it and put it in the fridge. Like, how beautiful is it? Make sure all the air is out. And there we go. This actually, the 2 bunches has given us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Given us 8 balls. It can even help you in case you are those people who want to portion and know how much you need. For us, I know we basically use like 3 or 4 balls each. Yeah, so it can help you to decide how much to spend and all that. So let's move to the next one. Another important veggie that we eat a lot is Madam Garlic and Mr. Ginger. Okay, I don't think I need to give them like pronouns. But it's garlic and ginger. So we have been using this trick for a while now, and we're able to get this. This is garlic. It was full from here, but you see we've been using it a lot. So what you need to do with garlic is buy a lot of garlic. Sit with your family, friends, ask them to remove the garlic, and then you're gonna blend it with a little bit of oil. The oil makes it easier for you to blend. If you have a food processor, just put the garlic as it is and, you know, process it. And all you need to do is put it in a Ziploc bag, or you can put it also in ice cube trays. It will be easier for you to pop, especially silicone ice cube trays. With plastic ones, it's kind of hard to remove because we used to try with plastic, but when we tried with silicone, it helped. But I'm trying to really use my Ziploc bags. I've had them for a while now. And then the same thing is going to happen with ginger. This is the ginger we have. We have had it at the same time. The same time we blended the ginger, the same time we blended the garlic. And for ginger, we just added a little bit of water. But if you have a food processor, it's going to be easier for you. But if you have a blender just like we have, just add a little bit of water and blend it and freeze it. And this is what you're going to get. So every time you need to just break a block or use silicone ice cube trays, just pop them out. And it's quite simple, stays in the fridge. Hakuna haja ya kugonga every time you need to use ginger or garlic. You just pop them out from the fridge. Of course, all these processes require you to put a lot of time at the beginning, but trust me, during the week you will be okay. We also have the fine babe onions. I love onions, guys. I love red onions. I love onions in all formats, but for now we are going to speak about red onions. So this is what I do. I have just cut the onions into half. I usually mandolin, but of course you can cut into smaller pieces with a knife. We just prefer using the mandolin. You need to be careful if you have one of these. You can lose a finger literally. The rest, I am going to just cube them up. This is mostly gonna be for stews and just cooking and sauteing. The thin ones that we've done with the mandolin are basically just going to be like for topping up, for salads. So you don't have to do all that, but this is just what I do. So this we will use to pickle, and then this you can put them separately and you can use them in a salad because they are very thinly sliced. But this is any extraness. What you need to do is this one. So for the roughly chopped onions, you need to put them in an airtight container, or you can freeze them. If your container, sorry guys for the noise, but if you can hear any noise on the side, to pop a balcony, and we have children playing today and screaming. Anyway, as I was saying, for the roughly chopped onions, you need to put them in a very airtight container, because if your container is not airtight, your fridge is gonna smell of onions. Like, it's gonna smell so bad, you're not gonna like it. So make sure if you're gonna use an airtight container, it's airtight. Just put them there, especially if it's something you're gonna be using very fast. But for us, mostly we freeze. We freeze them. We find them to be easier, and we just pop them. So we're gonna pickle the onions. For the pickling liquid, this is the recipe that I typically use, which is 1.5 cups of white vinegar. Although I usually do 1 cup white vinegar, half a cup rice wine, but you don't need to do that. You do it to zango. And now moving on to the next, which is how I prep my lettuce, so basically my salads. And I have some lettuce here that I have washed that I am going to dry using a special device that I actually saw is available in Carrefour, but mine is thrifted. It's called a salad spinner. A salad spinner helps you dry all your veggies basically. Kama una time ya kupat your lettuce and you eat a lot of it, I highly recommend the salad spinner. For Carrefour, the one we saw was about 1,300. It was those sides for plastic things. So let's prep everything, then I show you how I arrange. Just tear my lettuce. You can cut them into smaller pieces, but it depends on how you like it. So you don't want to overfill your salad spinner so it can actually work. It's very wet. Okay. So basically it's this turning mechanism that dries out the veggies, but don't open like us do it. I just want to show you guys. Just wait for it to stop. You'll see lots of liquid left, and you can touch to see if it's dry. Yeah, this is how I want it. This is dry, there's no water. I've just shown you guys cutting a small part of the cucumber. I still have this left, which I'm going to mandolin, and I am going to pickle as well. So for this, just to spruce it up, I'm going to add some black peppercorn and some mustard seeds that I have. Star anise. This just gives it so much more flavor. The pickling liquid. This time I also add a bit of sugar to it. And then we have capsicum. So I also use this in my salad, but I'll also show you how to preserve it separately in case you want to use it to cook. You're just gonna pat it dry. Moisture is basically, you don't want moisture. Moisture is your enemy when it comes to veggies, most veggies and preservation. So make sure it's completely dry. But it's in a paper towel, both of them, and then you'll put them in an airtight container, or if you have Ziplocs like me, tutaweka tu kwenye Ziploc hivi. And then I'll show you guys throughout the week how it looks. This is what I use for the salads. I got this box actually from, where did you get it from? China Square. We got this from China Square. So I'm just gonna line this with paper towel. You know, sometimes you find yourself umenunua so many veggies and you don't know what to do. You are thinking you're gonna be a healthy person, but you just don't know what to do. Or there's a particular veggie that you don't like. Like for me, I don't like eggplants. So we found this way that actually is inspired by Dobby. She's a creator here on YouTube. So we have a whole lots and lots of vegetables. I don't know if you can see all of them, but we have some eggplants, we have some capsicums, we have some carrot, we have some tomato. Yeah. And if you have any other vegetables like zucchini, you know, cauliflower, even broccoli, you thought you were going to eat them at once or they're about to go bad, this way is going to help you to enjoy the veggies more. So what you're going to do is it's ready for blending. Now, this is just like a base. We're not gonna do any more madoido. We are gonna do the madoido when we are warming it up. So like when you're warming it up, we can decide to put some cream. You can add like a bouillon to add more flavor to it, or you can just have it plain as it is. So we're just gonna leave it plain as it is so that it's easier for you to adjust it to what you'd want as you're actually cooking. But I'll show you guys the different things that you can cook with this particular sauce. I'm just gonna add a little bit of water. Ndio blend vizuri, just a bit, because the veggies already, like the tomatoes are gonna provide a lot of water. This is the consistency that we have currently. It's very, very thick, but you'll be able to thin it out as you're actually using it. So we're just gonna let this cool first, and then we're gonna portion it, because we know we're definitely not gonna use this completely during the week. So whatever we're gonna use immediately is gonna go in the fridge, and what we're not gonna use immediately, or most of it actually, is just gonna go to the freezer. If you're not sure you're gonna use these things or not, just put them in the freezer, trust me. Okay. I'm gonna try prep rice before. This is the rice. It's inside this. This is an instant pot thing. We usually use that sometimes to make our rice, but we people who prefer to make our rice fresh and ready, we don't find it to be an issue. But if this works, I feel like it's gonna be amazing for so many people. So from the research I have done, you need to put the rice somewhere for it to cool down. So I'm just gonna spread it here. This is rice like for 2 days. For us, we're just 2 people. So, I'll talk about bacteria and all that. But anyway, so I'm just gonna press it down. Oh, this rice is bouncy nicely. We're gonna press it down. So, a line like that. And I line like this. Cover it with a cling film. So the cling film is supposed to help the bacteria not grow on top of the rice. That's what most people have an issue with. So once this cools, we're gonna put it in the freezer just the way it is, to a place where we can break it. Like we can break the squares, and then the squares is what we're gonna store in the freezer. And then when it's ready, we're going to be able to microwave it, but we're going to test it together. This is my first time trying this. So we have some whole potatoes here that we actually steamed. We prefer steaming things. But if you are not in a position to do it, just boil it to a point where the fork is barely going all the way through. You still want it to hold its shape, okay? So you're just gonna boil until the fork unaingiza tu fork aita isiporomoke. Like the structure of the potato should still stay the way it is. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna put this in a either a container or a Ziploc bag. And then when you're ready to use, you can decide how you want to use it. This one, see the structure is still there. You can cut them into like chips, like fries, if you want to have fries, or you can cut them into wedges or just squares, just how you prefer to have your potatoes. Hey guys, it's the following day. Today is 7th October. I've just realized I didn't even tell you guys the date of us shooting, so you can actually see the dates. You know, somebody might think I am lying, but I shot the veggie episode yesterday and 7th October. I think I'm actually gonna shoot the meat episode today, so that will be like episode 2, which will involve chicken. So in some of this you'll see some meats, but don't worry, you're gonna have an episode for meats. I just want to show you how I incorporate the veggies. I typically don't eat just veggies by themselves. I like to mix them up. So as you've seen, it's 12:45. We typically have 2 meals a day actually, so I am just gonna have the salad. So let's see how well it's done already in day 1. And also I forgot to let you guys know, lettuce, if you know lettuce has gone bad, it will lose its crispiness. It'll have a foul smell. Okay, just gonna be flimsy. Sometimes it might change color, but the change of color doesn't necessarily mean that it's gone bad. Sometimes, like you see the way I was using the salad spinner and I was chopping it up, that can make it lose color. So yeah, let's prepare a first meal today. I forgot to mention also about my favorite dressing. You know guys, I buy this from a Japanese store, and actually we did find an alternative at Carrefour. I'm going to insert the image in case you like nutty what is it called, nutty flavors. I highly recommend that. And then we typically buy olive, sliced or pitted olives, always works for us. And then I also always buy sweet corn that is canned, because there's a time I bought the frozen one and it was literally like there was no flesh inside the corn. It's like we're just eating the shell, there was no flesh, so I really hated that. So I still I've been sticking to sweet corn. And then I also still have some fresh tomatoes, which I'm also gonna add. But let's see how our veggies are. Okay, the lettuce. Here's the lettuce. The lettuce is still looking fresh, so I'm just gonna use some of that. The cucumbers as well are doing quite well, as you can see. And then this is still more lettuce that is doing fine. There's no smell, everything seems to be okay. And then the capsicum as well. Breakfast, lunch, rather first meal of the day is done. Looks really nice. I just added a little bit of some salt and black pepper because of the eggs. It is 8th October, Tuesday. Actually, it's in the evening. I'm doing a live for TikTok. And I just want to show you guys how the veggies are doing. I've just put the veggies here. We finished this bowl of lettuce literally right now. But everything else is okay. You can see the cucumber is still alive. Everything is okay, even the capsicum. That's an update of 8th. Hello guys, so this is the final meal, and this snippet is for showcasing the potatoes. They've cooked really well. I really like how they look. So quick and fast. This is our fourth meal of the week. This is actually using everything that we have been prepping. So the sauce, let me try the sauce and the rice. The rice actually is not smelling bad. It's held up really well. And it tastes great. It's looking great. Don't mind the makeup, I was practicing something, but this is the last of the lettuce. I know it looks a bit discolored, but like I said at the beginning of the video, as long as it still has its crunch and it's not smelling, it's good to go. Like, it's still crunchy. Plus, that's the last of it. I don't know if you guys have had Hillary eating the carrots. They are still good. You just need to remember to be changing the water. Maybe like after 2 days, just change the water and it's gonna remain fresh. First of all, if you are lazy to make chapatis, get paranthas, and if you have the money as well, get paranthas. They taste really good. We got flaky ones, and Hillary has done a great job with them. Not all. Yeah. Okay. Do you guys see how versatile the sauce is? We just made chicken curry with a vegetable sauce. We are still getting our vegetables in. I love it. It's Monday, the following week. I wanted to show that literally put them in the freezer are gonna last for long. And look at the color. Can you see the color of these greens? Of this scuba? We've not, it's the same one, okay? That's what Danganya. Look at the vibrancy. Look at how it is. It doesn't even smell bad. I thought, you know, that would happen. But it's not happened to us before. So trust that process, okay guys? This is not typically how we eat all the time. We needed to put all these things together very fast so that I can get this video to you guys. Otherwise, it would have taken like a month. Because with such prep, it can literally last you for a month, especially when you're using the freezer. This is the end of the video. I hope you've learned some tricks. I hope you use these recipes. And please let me know. And also, the meat one is coming. And of course, some things are going to be similar, but different. So I'll catch you guys in the next one.